Yeah. Yo. Yeah, well. Belcher. What the fuck is going on? What time is it? I ain't got nobody blocked on this fucker, I don't think. Charging?
Book a Loved by Guest property with Verbo, and you get a top-rated vacation rental that's loved for all the right reasons.
Oh, I love my Verbo for the location.
Good reason.
Oh, and for the pool, because pools are cool.
I feel the love. Book a Verbo that's loved by guests. If you know, you Verbo.
For more than 30 years, Fisher House Foundation has provided families of wounded, injured, and ill service members and veterans a home away from home at no cost, because a family's love is good medicine. Learn more at fisherhouse.org.
Is your childcare bill starting to feel like a second mortgage? If your childcare costs have you constantly rethinking your budget, it's time to consider hosting an au pair. Au pairs can provide up to 45 hours per week of flexible live-in care and are often more affordable than a nanny or daycare, especially if you have more than one kid. No rushing to drop-offs or pickups, no scrambling when schedules change, just an extra set of hands at home and another driver when you need one. Learn how much your family could save at culturalcare.com/save.
Distant slugging on I-95. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
As Fairfax County returns, thin staffing is already one of the issues on the school board's plate.
I'm already getting letters about class sizes, and school hasn't even started.
Board Member Marcia St. John Cunning.
And then we're talking about class sizes in some instances for kindergartners that are very active. There's a lot going on.
It's part of a recent discussion where a tug of war has developed over how to comply with student literacy mandates in the Commonwealth that need to be reached regardless of workforce size.
Versus alternatives that involve additional staff, additional training, additional expense, and additional time.
And some 20 full-time positions which would be needed, but were not part of the most recent budget. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Some food for thought for parents who pulled out the cell phone cams this morning before the kids ran off to school.
There will be a lot of photos taken this week of kids holding up those "My First Day in a New Grade" signs, but Loudoun County Sheriff Mike Chapman cautions parents and family not to post those pictures online. He told 7 News, cute as those photos are, they often include identifying information.
We don't want any of our children targeted. We want to keep them safe. If you put too much information out there, you can jeopardize that.
Chapman says it's safer to share photos directly via texts and email. Matt Coates on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Asking a politician whether he's considering a run for president is pretty standard fare for the Sunday political chat shows, but Maryland Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen didn't wait to be asked on NBC's Meet the Press. He just came out and said it.
I'm kicking the tires. I think there's a great deal of churning within the Democratic Party, and I support that. As I said, I think we need this healthy debate because I don't think Democrats have put forward a clear alternative to the Trump administration.
Van Hollen downplayed the thought he might challenge Chuck Schumer for party leadership in the Senate. Gas prices are back on the rise, up 3 cents a gallon nationally the past week to $4.05. Analysts at Gas Buddy say gasoline is now at its highest price ever this late in the year, and for the first time, we could see the price above $4 a gallon on Labor Day. While some of the pressure is from Iran, the dominant force behind the higher prices, the growing loss of Russian refinery capacity as Ukrainian attacks knock more facilities offline. Around here, the average price now $4.18 a gallon in D.C., $3.99 in Maryland, $3.93 in Virginia. Checking your money. The Dow futures down 59 points. NASDAQ futures down 170. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
If you drive a big rig, you know that more time on the road means more money in your pocket. Shell Rotella with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running and save you money in the long run. Trade up to Shell Rotella and you'll get superior protection against engine wear. That means less time in the shop and more time on the road. It also means you'll get more chances to see North America's finest roadside attractions. Cows, cornfields, cows and cornfields. It's lovely this time of year. Shell Rotella's advanced synthetic technology also offers extended drain interval, helping your rig go further between oil changes, so you make less pit stops. Well, unless you need to restock on snacks. We really can't help you with that. But if you're looking to help your big rig engine live longer, look no further. Superior protection. Less maintenance. That's what you can expect from the #1 heavy-duty engine oil in North America. Shell Rotella for the long haul. Explore the full lineup of Shell Rotella products at rotella.com/long haul.
Jamie Witten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Baltimore Washington Parkway inside the Beltway crash cleanup continues at 450. Heavy delays through there. Same story on 210 northbound with the crash prior to the Beltway. Delays back near Old Fort Road North. Northbound 3 between Wall-Chapel Road and Annapolis Road jammed with that crash. Back to school for many. Just a reminder, please watch for the kids, the school buses, and extra delays around the schools. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Just seeing some clouds around to the west of us. Might see that mix in with sunshine today, but I think the sun's going to win a comfortable 85. Tonight, mainly clear, will drop back to the low 60s. Sunny tomorrow in the middle 80s. Wednesday, sunshine up to 90. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stitcher on WMAL.
Right now it is 73 degrees at Reagan National Airport. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
On this 1.7 mile track, it's in the 147 laps around National Archives, Air and Space Museum, backstretch will be Independence Avenue, around the Native American Museum, 3rd Street, and as you can see here, I don't know if you can hear anything of what I'm saying right now, Molly.
Yes, 147 laps around the the Native American Museum and Casino. The casino really is the most popular part of the museum, don't you think, Mike? I think so. The big race, big Indy race in Washington D.C. Down there, right here we got monuments in the Capitol. We got all kinds of fun stuff down there. And my best girl and I, we of course drove down there yesterday, parked a couple of blocks from where the race was. They always terrorize everyone, the left, the cross-dressers and the media. Oh, you can't go down there. You can't get anywhere near it. You can't. Stay away, stay away. We got in our car. We drove down about 4 blocks from the race and parked. It's Sunday, so you can, park without paying on the street. Parked right there. We walked down. My buddy Brian, our buddy Brian from Virginia, he drove in and he parked at the Willard Hotel right there, overlooking everything. And he had his sons with him, his 2 teenage sons with him, and said, hey, let's go to the races. And they just drove down and went to the races. Me and my best girl, we drove a couple miles and parked on the street and then walked. It was a beautiful day, 85 degrees and sunny, very nice. I wore my floppy hat from the Persian Gulf War. The old. It's fun. It still works. Keeps the sun off. And very nice. We went down and I got to say we didn't have fancy seats or anything. We didn't have the bleachers. Some people are paying $5,000 a ticket to get front row seats for the Indy cars. We didn't do that. I'm just in radio. And we got close enough to see cars zipping by. I had to kind of peek, had to, tilt the head a little to the left. And they put up fences everywhere. It was like North Korea with all the fences just everywhere. And you really couldn't, if you didn't have the $1 million tickets, you really couldn't get anywhere where you'd have a good vantage point on the race. You couldn't get anywhere near the Capitol building, which would have been a great place to be to watch the race go by. But it was all shut down, clamped down. But we got close enough. You can hear certainly you can hear them. You don't have to be that close to hear the Indy cars racing by, but it's fun and they sound great, of course. And we got close enough to see the. Truth is that like Indy car racing on roads in the city may not be the best spectator sport because you blink and like 7 cars have gone by because they're going real fast. I don't know if you've heard about this. They're race cars and all that stuff with race car drivers at the wheel. But a lot of fun and everybody was out having a good time and wearing American flag stuff and 250 celebrating our birthday stuff, and it was great. and ran into our friend Brian and said, well, what should we do? It's, we're not getting good seats. Although one of his sons found somebody had a wristband, and it apparently fell off. And actually a homeless guy picked up the wristband and gave it to my friend Brian's teenage son. And he said, oh, thanks, and put it around his wrist, and it stuck on his wrist. And then he could walk right into all the restricted areas. It was great. It was wonderful. Recycling, that's good recycling, I think. But we said, hey, wait a minute. And it was very risky. You can't bring in anything to the areas where the expensive seats are and stuff. So said, well, I think there's a sports bar about a block away with a patio and big screen TVs that are outside. Let's go over there. So we went over to this sports bar, and we ran into Brian again with his sons again. And a nice high top outdoor table with a row of, 5 or 6 big screen TVs, and they all had the race on, of course, because it's a block away, and all you could hear was the race cars revving. And we sat down, and my best girl and I, we got beers, because, now you could have a beer. Couldn't have a beer in the front row, but you could get a beer at the sports bar, and that made it good. So the race cars were just roaring 2 blocks away, and we had these, and I said it was kind of, for no plan at all, to just go down there and figure it out as we go along. That was great. And our great friend Jasmine, who is very often on the telephones here, she's not here today, but she was there at the race yesterday and on Saturday, because she gets invited to everything, and she and it's like, oh no, you're getting the tickets, and you had to enter a lottery and win the lottery, and Jasmine wins the lottery every time she enters the lottery, so it was good. She was down there, and we had lots of other plans and commitments, so we couldn't, as is often the case, commit to anything. I've always found that long-term planning is best done in the short term, but that's me. And so we had fun at the IndyCar race in Washington. We had a nice time. And again, outdoors and sports bar, beers, roaring cars a block away, watching them on television, where you might have had a better vantage. And we got some peaks at the IndyCars racing by. But never mind all that, because there's a lot of other stuff to talk about, too. The Democrat Party, they're socialists. They love illegal aliens that kill college girls, because that's the Democrat Party. Pretty amazing stuff. But we've got stories for you today. Democrat socialists on the march. They're always marching. They're these communists. They love marching, usually wearing hobnailed boots and things, and they're goose-stepping along, clicking together. That's pretty much who they are. But a friend of mine in Town Hall writing, when a tent gets too big, Scott Hoganson wrote it. Talked about him on Friday, as a matter of fact, here on the radio show, lives in Texas. But when a tent gets too big, tent gets too big, because the Democrats are waving, oh, we're a big tent party. So we got all these commie, lunatic, racist, illegal alien criminals, and, Democrats. It's a big tent of Democrats. So we got that. But can the tent get too big? And is there any historical example of what the Democrats should be doing now? And surprise, surprise, there is a historical example, and it has to do with the Republican Party years ago, and Lee Atwater, the late great Lee Atwater. So I've got that story for you, because it's a fun thing. Also, Democrats, they love the jihad and killing the Jews. They're genocidal Jew haters now. The Democrat Party, even their Jews hate the Jews. It's pretty crazy. But this is the Free Beacon, the Washington Free Beacon, with their exclusive story: Michigan Senate communist terrorist jihadi and Democrat hopeful Abdul al-Sayed blamed the United States for creating terrorism. It's, because people are in pain. And I was like, I'm going back to the Barbary Pirates and Thomas Jefferson. I guess Thomas Jefferson was creating a lot of pain on the Barbary Pirates. And maybe it's the problem of we caused the Ottoman Empire too. These people, these communist jihadis, are mentally ill, and they just attack everything and firebomb stuff. They firebomb a lot of stuff too. Yeah, what happens when people are in pain? That's what's going on. And also, I got to tell you, these people, we got Hassan Piker, and he's back, and he's they're chanting, mocking Charlie Kirk chant to the crowd of criminal filth that flocked to Hassan Piker, who's a terrorist and a genocidal racist, and a Democrat in good standing, and an influencer. He's campaigning with Democrats, and is the old this guy. I just got to tell you, but wait till you hear this, chanting the Charlie Kirk song and mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination, his murder, his widow, his orphan children, because they're a bloodthirsty lot of ghouls and gargoyles. What do you think is worse, a ghoul or a gargoyle? I don't know, we'll discuss. Chanting the Charlie Kirk thing. And then he's famous for saying that we deserved 9/11, the radical Islamic jihadi mass murder terror attacks of September 11th, 2001. Now, the 25th anniversary of that, just weeks away now, the 25th anniversary. I remember it well, like it was yesterday. And Hassan Piker, who loves saying America deserved 9/11, he came out and he said, I got a new thing now. America didn't deserve 9/11. And the crowd booed him and jeered him because they're America-hating, bloodthirsty goblins. They remarkable things, just extraordinary stuff. These people, I am telling you. Also, I want to update you on crime in Virginia. You know, all the illegal aliens that the Democrats invite in, who then murder everybody because Democrats. They're just they love illegal aliens but hate normal people, and they love murder. But there is Luke Rosiak, who's wonderful covering the news and writing about it. Luke Rosiak points out, we were talking about the illegal aliens murdering people in Fairfax County, Virginia, outside of Washington, D.C., and Luke Rosiak has an update on that, and it turns out that only the 8 murders in Fairfax County so far this year, 8 murders of people murdered, and only there are 8 murders, and because there are 8 murders, and only 2 of them are actually Americans. There are 8 murders in Fairfax County so far this year. 2 of them are Americans, and wait till you hear, and the rest are not. And wait till you hear about these 2 Americans. They're both Democrats. It's pretty amazing stuff. So I want to share that with you because I was reading it over the weekend and just kind of shaking my head. Boy, if I were a Democrat, I'd quit the Democrat Party because, who would want to be, I'd rather be a member of the Hells Angels than the Democrat Party. They've got some honor and integrity, but the Democrat Party really doesn't. Speaking of the WNBA, that's the Women's National Basketball Association, you may not be familiar with it because nobody watches. But a couple of people watched recently because of the 2 kind of stars light that they have in the WNBA, who the Democrats are targeting for lunacy. And this guy's a lot of fun, actually. Enes Kanter Freedom, former NBA basketball player, a professional men's basketball player, who now says he feels like a lady and wants to play in the WNBA. So he wants to play in the WNBA. And he went to a WNBA game just to make fun of them, I think. I mean, what else? Why would you go to a WNBA game if not to make fun of them? But Enes Kanter Freedom went to a WNBA game, and he was kicked out by security because crazy LGBTQ WNBA femme fatale Natasha Cloud. They're always named for Soviets. Natasha Cloud, and Cloud on maybe she's a Moody or something. Cloud, probably not her real name, but Enes Kanter Freedom was cheering when a legitimate female basketball player scored a 3-pointer, and this crazy woman, Natasha Cloud, kind of attacked Enes Kanter Freedom, and he stood up, and he's so tall, he was in the NBA, that security came and kicked him out of the place because they're all fascists. That's one of the things about them that you'll discover over time. Also, I'm going to have to check for the update, but Gary, Indiana, there's a song about that. You remember that song? It's, what is that from, Michael? It's one of the greats, The Music Man. Yeah, it's The Music Man, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary. Well, they don't have electricity, and they haven't, and maybe they're getting it back now, but they had a power outage, and it lasted for like 12 days or so, the city of Gary, Indiana. And part of the problem was that the power company people, the electric crews, they came in, and Democrats had men come out and shoot at them, shoot at the people repairing the electricity, hitting their vehicles with bullets fired from guns. And that's because the Democrat Party is violent and a lot of criminals. And Gary, Indiana is all Democrats, and it's 75% black. So what do you hear about this? Because it's this is another classic example of what do they call it, Michael? It's environmental racism. That's what the Democrats call it, environmental racism. And I'll explain why that's another Democrat mental illness going forward. Just amazing how pathetic these racists who invented the Confederate States of America are, even in 2026. Just amazing. And we've got breakthrough. Oh yeah, we're at 888-630-9625. 888-630-9625. The American Federation of Teachers. You know, these people, they've got serious lunatics running the place. Randy Weingarten. She's calling for a boycott of Target stores everywhere. You know, Target stores. And this woman, Randy Weingarten of the American Federation of Teachers, she's the boss, wants everyone to boycott Target. I'm trying to figure out what I need to go buy at Target today, because, well, you'll marvel at the alleged reason why. Hey, SNAP benefits enrollments are down. The Democrats are angry because they want more crime. There are Democrats crawling around in the sewer system in New York. What are they doing there? 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Two-car crash, Bellway to Silver Spring, and we are jammed. Outer loop between Georgia and Colesville Road. Looks like they're holding up traffic to try to clear these vehicles to the shoulder. There's a vehicle fire on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway, southbound at 450, and massive cleanup is still underway. We are jammed before 410. You might want to try inbound 50 as an alternative. You can head through there. And late delays continue 210 northbound to the crash before the Beltway. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Sunny and pleasant today. Just a few clouds and a high of 85. Mostly clear overnight, low 62.
Air travel never stops, and neither do air traffic controllers. Working every day, ATCs guide more than 1 billion passengers safely to and from destinations each year. Air traffic control, teamwork that keeps our nation moving.
A leadership opportunity like this doesn't come along often. The Rome City School District is searching for its next high school principal. If you're an experienced educational leader, ready to inspire students, support staff, and make a lasting impact, this is your opportunity. As Rome continues its exciting revitalization, now is the time to be part of building a new Rome and shaping its future. With an affordable cost of living, a supportive community, and the quality of life Central New York offers, your next chapter starts here. Apply today at romecsd.org.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader, and out of Washington Street or online at widgetautosales.com.
I started Ornata in 2013, and we make bike apparel. The best part of Shopify for me is our ability to run the business as essentially non-technical people. We're able to admin everything on the back end, front end, and sell things online easily. If Shopify were a bike accessory, I think it would actually be the bicycle. It's the thing that you do the thing on. We run the business on Shopify. Start your free trial on shopify.com.
Ready, set, summer with the Honda Summer Event. With available features like all-terrain tires and off-road tuned suspension, the rugged Honda Pilot, Ridgeline, CR-V, and Passport. with all you need to get summer ready with the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details. Based on EPA estimate of 2024 large full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy. EPA Automotive Trend Report 2025.
Our Q4 roadmap includes omni-channel banking.
This season, it's not about their rules. Lucky Rebels taking the odds back from the cities. So rebels like you can make your own rules. When it's 4th and long, you're not made to punt. Bet the way you live, like a rebel. Join the rebellion and get a $1,250 bonus at luckyrebel.la.
You got this.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy, you might be dehydrated. Don't let dehydration take away from your day. Gatorade Zero powders have been scientifically designed to help improve hydration balance in the body. With a clinically proven electrolyte blend and no artificial colors or flavors. Shop now online or at retailers nationwide. Gatorade hydrates better than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
Is your childcare bill starting to feel like a second mortgage? If your childcare costs have you constantly rethinking your budget, it's time to consider hosting an au pair. Au pairs can provide up to 45 hours per week of flexible live-in care and are often more affordable than a nanny or daycare, especially if you have more than one kid. No rushing to drop-offs or pickups, no scrambling when schedules change, just an extra set of hands at home and another driver when you need one. Learn how much your family could save at culturalcare.com/save.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Family, the Great New York State Fair is full of new news. New news. New exciting events to amuse and enthuse.
What about rides?
New woohoos for you twos.
Chickens, chows?
You can schmooze with the moves.
Concerts.
It's a veritable who's who's. So many new news for all of yous.
I like the old stuff.
Well, there's lots to peruse, so get on your shoes. Who can refuse Syracuse?
The Great New York State Fair, presented by Chevrolet, August 26th to September 7th.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 till 9 on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
I need to clarify something. I was talking about the homicides, murders in Fairfax County, Virginia. Only 2 of the murderers, 8 people murdered, and only 2 of the murderers are Americans. The other 6 not Americans, but Democrats. They're still Democrats. Let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Susan calling from the great state of Michigan. Susan, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Just great, Susan. Are you back in Michigan, or are you still here in D.C.?
Oh, no, I'm in Michigan.
Wow, quick.
I'm not far from where you visit, so sometime I can buy you a beer.
Excellent. Beautiful South Haven.
Yeah, I'm in Ada. But
very nice.
Anyway, in my younger years, I worked in downtown Detroit, and I worked at the Renaissance Center in Tower 400 on floor 16, which overlooked the Detroit River. And we used to have Indy races in downtown Detroit, and it was so much fun. I mean, I could sit at my desk, look out the window, and see the cars racing by. And I'd be talking on the phone, and people on the phone, I'm on the 16th floor, but people on the phone would be like, "What's that noise? What's going on?" And I'd have to explain that, the Indy races were going on. And then at lunch, we could go downtown to Hart Plaza and, watch the cars close up. And that was before, all the security had to be in place. But it was just a wonderful experience.
Well, it is. It's very cool. The Indy cars are incredibly cool. It's a great American pastime. Of course, in D.C., Democrats just complain about everything, and so they complained about everything. But it was kind of nice, Susan, because that means that they didn't show up down on the mall yesterday for the race, and that makes it much more civilized. And we were noticing it's D.C., a lot of white people, black people, Asian people, and we actually noticed how many black and Asian people yesterday. We weren't there Saturday, but yesterday, we're wearing American flag clothing and 250 hats, and stuff. Everybody was on Team America, and we were all, smiling at each other and nodding and saying hello and enjoying it. Just great stuff. Well, I'm sorry you couldn't be here for the races in Washington. It was a great location for it, for sure.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Finally get lanes reopened here, Beltway and Silver Spring. Two-car crash. They stopped traffic to clear everything over to the shoulder, outer loop between Georgia and Connecticut Avenue. Now with lanes open, we're trying to recover. We are jammed back at New Hampshire Avenue, so be ready for that. Still just a single lane gets by on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway inside the Beltway at 450. Cleanup from the vehicle fire, and north on 210 before the Beltway for the crash. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Sunny and pleasant today, just a few clouds and a high of 85, mostly clear overnight, low 62.
Looking for a college that delivers real value and a great experience without breaking the bank? At Jefferson Community College, you get high-quality education, affordable tuition, and hands-on learning that prepares you for what's next. The college is more than the classroom. Jefferson offers vibrant student activities, championship-level sports teams, leadership opportunities, and a campus community where you belong. Smart choice, strong future. Jefferson Community College. Discover more at sunyjefferson.edu.
Thinking about getting away? With Expedia, you can save up to 25% on hotels and vacation rentals, even on those last-minute trips. No stress, no endless searching, just quality options found fast, so you can spend more time dreaming about the view. Whether you need a place to stay, a flight, or a car, we make planning simple by putting your whole trip in one place. Because who you travel with matters. Book with Expedia now.
Is your childcare bill starting to feel like a second mortgage? If your childcare costs have you constantly rethinking your budget, it's time to consider hosting an au pair. Au pairs can provide up to 45 hours per week of flexible live-in care and are often more affordable than a nanny or daycare, especially if you have more than one kid. No rushing to drop-offs or pickups, no scrambling when schedules change, just an extra set of hands at home and another driver when you need one. Learn how much your family could save at culturalcare.com/save.
Europe is calling. It's time to plan your European getaway with Vrbo. With Vrbo Care included on every stay, you can book with confidence, knowing support is available before, during, and after your trip if things go astray. From beach houses to family retreats, find the space that's just right for you and yours. Vrbo, your trusted partner for every stay. Book now.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe, plus free delivery on any mattress. Ends Monday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
WeatherTech is made right here in America, and it's perfect for an American-made summer. Because we cannonball into summer, hike all over it, slide down it, camp in it. It's one ice cream-covered, sandy, soaking wet mess of a season, which is why WeatherTech floor liners and seat protectors are a must. We are road-tripping, beach-going, lake-jumping Americans, and that's just how we summer. WeatherTech, made in America for an American-made summer. Visit WeatherTech.com today.
1 second, you're enjoying your first day off and forever.
Then, mid-lunch, your phone buzzes. A window's been broken at home, and you're miles away. In 1 second, everything can change. That's why ADT offers security systems with 24/7 monitoring, with tech that helps first responders prioritize your emergency. And with the ADT Plus app, you can stay informed and in control of your home from virtually wherever you are. When every second counts, count on ADT. Visit ADT.com to learn more.
Is your childcare bill starting to feel like a second mortgage? If your childcare costs have you constantly rethinking your budget, it's time to consider hosting an au pair. Au pairs can provide up to 45 hours per week of flexible live-in care and are often more affordable than a nanny or daycare, especially if you have more than one kid. No rushing to drop-offs or pickups, no scrambling when schedules change, just an extra set of hands at home and another driver when you need one. Learn how much your family could save at culturalcare.com/save.
WMAL, making sense of the vote because elections have consequences. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Okay, I want to get back to. I've got to clarify more the murders in Fairfax County because Democrats. But before I do, talk about the big IndyCar auto race in Washington over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday also IROC race in Washington. Cool around museums and official Washington, the Capitol and the Washington Monument back there and all that good stuff. A great location for it. Everybody had a good time except Democrats, but that's because they lost the ability to have a good time or a nice time or a pleasant time. And it's the old rule that your grandfather probably taught you about Democrats. They're not happy unless they're not happy. Did your grandfather used to say that? They're not happy unless they're not happy, and that certainly speaks to them. Let's go. We've got another call on the big race. Let's listen to what they have to say. Let's go to Rob calling from Montgomery County. Oh, Rob, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Chris. Good morning. Hey, thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
Yeah, I traveled down to Anne Arundel County to see my sister, and we went to a nice restaurant down there. And it wasn't a sports bar, but it had, multiple TVs with every kind of sporting event you could imagine. But one event they didn't have on the TV was the race downtown, which is something that's never happened before. And you would think that, it's fairly special. So I don't know. I was going to say something to the people that ran the establishment, but I thought I didn't want to get kicked out accidentally. I wanted to finish my meal.
Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah, you'd think it's a local event. It's a first time ever event. It's the monuments, the Capitol, the Washington Monument, Indy race cars. People are flooding in by the hundreds of millions to Washington, D.C. Actually, I guess about 140,000 or 160,000 additional people came in to the city. Democrats, by the way, are complaining. They were complaining last night, Rob, how the businesses in downtown D.C. are suffering because of the race. It's like, by bringing in another 160,000 people right to downtown D.C., the business are probably suffering. That's what Democrats are. They're all brain damaged, I think, Rob.
The opposite of what was actually happening. They were probably enjoying themselves and could actually go in the restaurant and feel a little bit safer.
Right, the visitors and the business owners. The business owners have an addition on weekends in D.C. It can be kind of quiet down there in downtown D.C. on weekends. But when you had this race going on, it was anything but sleepy. It was very, very busy. But Democrats, because of their many mental impairments, Rob, were caterwauling, saying it must be bad for the businesses. They don't understand anything at all, do they? Nothing.
No, not much. And the other thing, I said, oh, by the way, your call screener is very, very pleasant. I don't know. I've never spoken to her before, but she reminded me of the lady that called in from Michigan just now. Very pleasant, very nice. Just, you like to hear those things on a Monday, nice things and happy things.
Well, we're a conservative organization, so we're not maladjusted, malevolent, malignant malcontents. We're normal people, and we're happy with our lives, and fighting for a better world. And the left, they're miserable and unhappy. You put them in charge of things, and they want everyone else to be miserable with them.
Exactly. One quick thing. Out in Gaithersburg, I go to the Kaiser Health Plan there, and there's a huge building that serves all of Montgomery County, where you get everyone and his brother that goes there. But anyway, there's a parking lot adjacent to the humongous parking lot at Kaiser and the hotel, and all the Indy tractor trailers were there. All of them. It said McLaren on them, Indy 500. No, beautiful. Kidding. I mean, pristine trucks. Oh, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was amazing. I was hoping that they wouldn't get vandalized. Wow.
Right. You had to have security. You had security for them there.
I didn't see anybody. That's what really surprised me. Because I park far away from all the other people that park at that facility, because I have a fairly new ride and I want to keep it in as pristine condition as possible. Anyway, thank you for taking the call. And yes, I didn't see any of that event. I don't even know who won, but I thought that was very cool. That and of course,
American. Is your new car a Porsche?
Oh no! I have a Honda Passport. I really enjoy it. It does.
You don't want to take that, but that's good.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Yeah. I want to know the name of the place you went where they didn't have the.
It's called the All American Steakhouse. It's down in Edgewater.
Is that right?
And because I like the place, and I would say some other things about it that I found very unusual, but in a good way. But I think I better refrain from saying anything on this phone with you.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll just stay away from that.
I understand. It's very thoughtful of you, considerate of you. See, we're the thoughtful, considerate people, right?
Yeah, fun people. Everyone was having a good time there, but I just found it odd because I was sitting in a location where I could see multiples of these TVs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's great. And since Trump, was the one that kind of, I guess, initiated this thing,
yep.
The other side, they don't want anything nice or good or, like you said, happy. They don't want people to enjoy themselves. They want everyone to be miserable like they are. So anyway, thank you so much, Chris, and have a great week.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Yeah. It's again, your grandfather. Misery loves company, and the second part of that is so do Democrats, because they really embody misery at this point in 2026. They are the misery people. There's no doubt about it. Thank you, Rob. Now let me go to this because Democrats don't love much, but they do love murder, and they love illegal aliens. They like crime, and they like crawling in sewers in New York. They've got a lot of things that got them all screwed up. But we've got a crazy, how they do love illegal aliens, and the American Federation of Teachers with the lunatic over there, Randy Weingarten. I want to get to that one too, and electricity in Gary, Indiana, because a storm knocked out electricity in Gary, Indiana. And when the electric company truck showed up with men to repair the electricity and restore electricity, Democrats sent, it's a 75% black city, Gary, Indiana. And young men came out with guns, physical description to follow, and shot up the vehicles of the electric company repair people so that they fled the scene because they didn't want to be killed. And then the electricity stayed out, and then Democrats, they had no lights. And then Democrats came out and said, well, this is another example of environmental racism. No, wrong again, mental people. But let me get to Democrats and crime and all the mayhem and all of that, because Luke Rosiak, the wonderful Luke Rosiak, he's got a great Twitter account, and over the weekend he posted, listen to this, only 2 of 8 murderers in Fairfax County, that's in Virginia outside of Washington, D.C., only 2 of 8 murderers in Fairfax County this year are known to be Americans. They're known to be Americans. Now listen to this. So 6 of them are not Americans, and they've murdered a number of people, at least 6 people. But 2 of the murderers are Americans, and that's kind of fascinating. Well, what is up with it? Because this is not a border state, it's not a border county, Fairfax County, but But listen to this, because Luke Rosiak laid it out. Says Abdul Jallah is an illegal immigrant from Sierra Leone, arrested more than 30 times. But prosecutor, the Democrat George Soros prosecutor in Fairfax County, Stephen Descano, dropped the charges, like 30 times. Let him go. What's the worst that could happen? Which created the circumstances where he murdered a stranger, Stephanie Minter, at a bus stop with a big knife. Because Democrats love illegal aliens and they love murder. Next one. It's Miguel Lopez Gomez, a Guatemalan illegal alien who allegedly beat a 3-month-old baby to death. He beat the 3-month-old baby to death because, those babies, they can be loud and a little bit annoying. And all that. So actually, as an illegal alien, Miguel Lopez Gomez had to beat the baby to death because, you know how they are. So that's their second one. And then Anibal Armando Chavarria. It goes on. Anibal Armando Chavarria Muy, a Guatemalan illegal immigrant who was arrested for stabbing a man to death. Stabbing, I don't know if you noticed, Latinx may favor stabbing over guns on many occasions. So I got that. And then Alexis Antonio Sadeos Campos from El Salvador, the illegal immigrant, I see a trend emerging here, whose alleged murder was censored by Nextdoor, right? And then Tapa, you got, it's Thapa, but I think it's pronounced Tapa, Tapa Chatra, whose immigration status is unclear and unknown, and who was killed by police after stabbing 3 people. Why would that be? Why would that be an issue of any kind? I just don't understand. And that's so you got all of that, and you then have, because you got 2 Americans who were also in trouble for murder, and this is kind of an amazing story because the 2 Americans, this is where it gets a little bit tricky and very democratic, because the first black lieutenant governor in the history of the state of Virginia murdered his wife, and then he murdered himself because it's a murder-suicide. You may remember him, Justin Fairfax, murdered his wife in his multi-million-dollar house. And I remember when the news story broke in this location where wealthy people live, where there aren't often murders. And police were there, said, oh, in this multi-million-dollar house, this big rambling house with, you could put bowling alleys in it. And there was a murder, and police were responding. And then only later did we learn, oh, that's the home of the then former lieutenant governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, a Democrat, of course, Democrat Justin Fairfax, who murdered his wife, and I think his kids were downstairs or upstairs or something, and they were in the house, and they had 2 kids, and amazing stuff. And the police were kind of, understandably, tried to be low-key about it, like, well, we're not identifying who the person is yet, but it turned out that it was the lieutenant governor, a Democrat, Justin Fairfax, who made history again as the first black lieutenant governor of Virginia, and then he made history as being the first lieutenant governor of Virginia to murder his wife and then to murder himself, because that's and he's a Democrat. So that's one of the 2 murderers in Fairfax County this year. I remember the story well, and then the news media downplayed the hell out of it, and TV didn't talk about it as a one-sentence reader for anchors, for anxious anchors, and all that stuff. And then the only other murder perpetrated in Fairfax County by an American was a PhD college professor who also murdered his wife. Again, these trends are easy to detect if you're paying attention over time. These people. So he, the lieutenant governor, Justin Fairfax, one of 2 Americans to commit murders in Fairfax County this year. And then math professor charged after wife killed in Fair Oaks shooting. Fairfax County identified the 60-year-old Chisholm Jameson as the victim. Officers found her with gunshot wounds, plural, at home in Washington Bryce Road. People know where that is. Police arrested 64-year-old Leland Jameson, and the husband charged him with second-degree murder. Now, he's a retired math professor, math professor, and charged with the fatal shooting of his own wife in Fairfax County. Investigators described it as a domestic-related incident. Well, that makes sense. I don't think you have to be Columbo to put those pieces together, do you? Honestly, call in the FBI. That's crazy. So officers called to his house and found his wife. They even give the address here and everything, but she was found dead in the bedroom. Significant loss of blood, having been shot repeatedly by her husband and everything. And officers said that the spent shell casing found near her body and all of that. 64-year-old Leland Jameson arrested, charged with second-degree murder. So there it is in Fairfax County. They've got it's an immigrant-rich environment. They're culturally rich and racially diverse. And they have had 8 homicides. 6 of them were either illegal aliens or ought to be illegal aliens, immigrants to the United States. And 2 of them are Democrats. One of them was the lieutenant governor, who's, I guess I mentioned he's the first black lieutenant governor. They had Doug Wilder in Virginia, but first black governor long before him. But never mind that. Democrats don't score that. It's the first black dog catcher in Des Moines County is going to be on the front page of the New York Times because they're so ridiculous. But there it is. So we got 8 murders, total of 8 murders in Fairfax County so far this year. Only 2 of them perpetrated by Americans, both of them by big-time Democrats, a PhD college professor who murdered his wife, and, of course, the lawyer and former lieutenant governor, Ivy League, all the best schools, all the lieutenant governor, and murdered his wife, then he murdered himself, and kids be damned. So that's Fairfax County. I'm thinking, boy, I want to live someplace without Democrats. That's it. I'm moving to Washington, D.C.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Good news for those of you coming out of Fort Washington, 210, the crash northbound before the Beltway cleared, and those delays just about cleared out. Same story on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway, car fire activity cleared southbound at 450. Delays are gone, and we're trying to clear out the delays on the Beltway into Silver Spring. Out of look, the 2-car crash sits to the shoulder now between Georgia and Connecticut Avenue, delays just after New Hampshire Avenue. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Sunny and pleasant today, just a few clouds and a high of 85. Mostly clear overnight, low 62.
Bottles are filling and payrolls next. Whoa, what the? I'm you with more gusto. What's with the leather jacket? It's kind of my new vibe. Which, by the way, switch to Gusto for payroll. Switch? Oh, that's always such a headache. With Gusto, it's effortless. Kind of like looking cool in this jacket. Payroll, benefits, even 401k. Simple. Can I try it on? Gusto? Sure. The jacket? No. Switch to effortless payroll. Choose a future with Gusto.
Now boarding flight 530.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy, you might be dehydrated. 81% of travelers don't feel fully hydrated, and flying increases the risks of dehydration. Gatorade Zero powders have been scientifically designed to help improve hydration balance in the body, clinically proven electrolyte blend, and no artificial colors or flavors. Shop now online or at retailers nationwide. Gatorade hydrates better than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
Back to school means back to half-eaten lunches. Veggies left behind like math homework at the bottom of their bag. Or they could bring those lunch boxes home empty with deliciously creamy Hidden Valley Ranch. Carrots and bell peppers, gone. Chicken tenders, devoured. A turkey ranch wrap, consider it history. When the lunch bell rings, make sure your kids have a lunch they'll love to eat. Grab a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch at Walmart.com and pack every lunch with flavor this year.
Looking for a college that delivers real value and a great experience without breaking the bank? At Jefferson Community College, you get high-quality education, affordable tuition, and hands-on learning that prepares you for what's next. But college is more than the classroom. Jefferson offers vibrant student activities, championship-level sports teams, leadership opportunities, and a campus community where you belong. Smart choice, strong future. Jefferson Community College. Discover more at sunyjefferson.edu.
It's Vince. I love cars and I love PCU Fast in Chantilly. Right now, they've got a great deal on powder coating your car's wheels. Get all 4 wheels powder coated for just $850, including mount and balance. Terms apply. Powder coating your wheels by PCU Fast doesn't just look great. It's tougher than paint, resists chips, brake dust, and corrosion, and it keeps your wheels looking new longer. Visit PCUfast.com or call 703-705-9220. That's 703-705-9220.
Bottles are filling and payrolls next. Whoa, what the? I'm you with more gusto. What's with the leather jacket? It's kind of my new vibe, which, by the way, switch to Gusto for payroll. Switch? Oh, that's always such a headache. With Gusto, it's effortless. Kind of like looking cool in this jacket. Payroll, benefits, even 401k. Simple. Can I try it on? Gusto? Sure. The jacket? No. Switch to effortless payroll. Choose the future with Gusto.
Attention men, it's time to make the bedroom the best room in the house. True Vitality Medical Center eliminates erectile dysfunction and PE for thousands of men, even when Viagra and Cialis have failed. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
True Vitality Medical Centers, painless breakthrough treatments, eliminate ED and PE. Age doesn't matter, medical history doesn't matter. 98% of patients experience instant results right in the office.
In just one visit, True Vitality Medical Center has men lasting longer, performing better, and enjoying the best sex of their lives. Right now, your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 703-637-1222. 703-637-1222. To end your frustration in the bedroom, call now. 703-637-1222.
WMAL, making sense of the headlines, because common sense isn't so common. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
All right. Well, a lot of fun stuff on all of that in the big Indy race in Washington yesterday, and a great deal more to get to. Yeah, that's right. Electricity in Gary, Indiana. I think those are the only lyrics I know to that song, Gary, Indiana. But I'll see if I can work on that. We've got a lot more to share with you. Time we have Bill and this Hassan Pikert guy. He should be living in Syria in a free fire zone, I think, and maybe he will be before everything. So, but we'll get to him too. Let's go back to the telephones, Mike. Let's go to Mike calling from Springfield, Virginia. Mike in Springfield, you're on the Chris Blank Show.
Hey, Chris, thanks for taking my call. Wife and I were at the race. It was fantastic. I didn't realize how much pageantry there was going to be with all the parades, all the services, all the flyovers. It was just wonderful. And then, with the International Race of Champions and Jeff Gordon winning twice. But the thing is, this morning, I happened to look at Nextdoor, which I should know better. Somebody said yesterday, what's with all the military flyover stuff? And somebody said that's a flyover for the race. And some people commented, wow, only negative things to say, waste of taxpayer, dollars. And somebody said, well, people have to train, know how to fly those planes. And there were even worse comments. So I finally tried. I normally don't. I wrote in, I said, for what it's worth, event 150,000 people, free to them, celebrating America's 250, and the military keep us free. So I'm sure we get a lot of stuff, but it was just incredible. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
and
well,
I got a selfie with Brett Bear.
Is that right? No kidding. That's fun. So he was in the good seats with you.
I don't know. They were all good seats.
That's great. Yeah, the B-2 flyover flanked by fighter jets, and B-2 stealth bomber is so cool, and a lot of great flyovers representing, again, as you said, we got helicopters and representing all the military services. Well, the Democrats are fundamentally anti-American, and so they have to be anti-American military, you know.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. The U.S. imposing fresh sanctions against Iran, prompting warnings from Iranian leaders.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent wrote on Sunday, President Donald Trump and the overwhelming might of our military have significantly dismantled Iran's military capabilities and weakened its nuclear program. Now we are entering the end game. The economic pressure comes as the Iranian rial crossed 2 million to $1 US, a historic low for the country's currency. The head of Iran's Supreme National Security Council responded on X, saying if the economic war continues, not a single drop of oil will be exported, neither through the Strait of Hormuz nor anywhere in the Persian Gulf. Iran will regard any country's participation in or support for America's economic war against the Iranian people as an act of war.
Fox News Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Maryland Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen says he may run for president in 2028, telling NBC's Meet the Press his own party isn't getting the job done.
Bottom line, I think Democrats need to be very clear, not just what we're against, but what we're for. And I very much want to be part of that debate. And I am kicking the tires, testing the waters.
Van Hollen mentioned the possible presidential bid after skirting a question over his possible interest in challenging Chuck Schumer for the party's leadership post in the Senate. Tens of thousands turned out for the excitement of watching Indy cars driving really fast. But the trade-off on that now, slow traffic.
3 more weeks here across downtown D.C., where we are, Pennsylvania and 10th Street. It's kind of some rolling closures happening right now. You've got the traffic cones, the signs, all of it. As crews kind of break down that racetrack, it's going to be a mess for quite a few weeks. It's obviously excitement for those coming in, kind of some stress for those who have to navigate these closures and try to avoid the gridlock.
7 News' Liana Golden. Traffic's picking up not just downtown, but across the region this week with school back in session.
August is one of the lower traveled months of the year.
Daniel Sheehan leads the Commuter Connections program at the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments.
And then September, it always kind of comes to a head here, and we see traffic, significantly worse.
Though Sheehan points out more people are using Metro, MARC Rail, and VRE.
Trains across the board we've seen kind of go up since the pandemic in ridership.
With increasing numbers of commuters also walking to work where possible, says Sheehan. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
Schools open today in Fairfax, Prince William, Alexandria, Falls Church, and D.C. They're back tomorrow in Montgomery and Prince George's counties. D.C. students return to school amid signs of progress with test scores rising, but still far below acceptable levels.
The district's 2026 assessment results show English language arts proficiency at 39.6%. That's up 2 percentage points from last year. Math proficiency rose 2.1 points to 28.5. Those are the 4th consecutive years of gains, but that still means fewer than 4 in 10 students are proficient in ELA and fewer than 3 in 10 in math.
7 News' John Gonzalez at the city wants to improve those scores. It needs kids in school. The most recent attendance report found a truancy rate of 35%. Checking your money. The Dow is up 155 points. The NASDAQ is down 238. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
Need a fast, easy oil change? Jiffy does it. Of course they do. But you might not know there's even more to a Jiffy Lube oil change. In fact, they do 15 services in 15 minutes with no appointment needed. Free fluid top-offs? Jiffy does it. Preventive maintenance check? Jiffy does it. All from highly trained technicians? Jiffy does it. So drive in today for a 15-minute oil change service or anything else you might need. Because when it comes to fast, easy car maintenance, Jiffy does it. Jiffy Lube.
Family, the Great New York State Fair is full of new news.
New news?
New news. New exciting events to amuse and enthuse.
What about rides?
New woohoos for you twos.
Chickens? Chows?
You can schmooze with the moose.
Look at the concerts.
It's a veritable who's who's. So many new news for all of yous.
I like the old stuff.
Well, there's lots to peruse, so get on your shoes. Who can refuse Syracuse?
The Great New York State Fair, presented by Chevrolet, August 26th to September 7th.
Is your childcare bill starting to feel like a second mortgage? If your childcare costs have you constantly rethinking your budget, it's time to consider hosting an au pair. Au pairs can provide up to 45 hours per week of flexible live-in care and are often more affordable than a nanny or daycare, especially if you have more than one kid. No rushing to drop-offs or pickups. No scrambling when schedules change, just an extra set of hands at home and another driver when you need one. Learn how much your family could save at culturalcare.com/save.
WMAL traffic and weather. Here's Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
On Baltimore Washington Parkway, the vehicle fire cleared near Route 450. Still very slow as you head down from the Beltway, but at least now everything is open. Beltway outer loop still under speed, New Hampshire Avenue around to Connecticut Avenue. 66 eastbound right after the interchange with the Beltway. There's a crash there blocking the left lane, causing delays from 123 on 95 southbound at 123. Construction blocks the right lane, causing a delay down from Route 1 in Woodbridge. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Dry weather through midweek and temperatures on a slow climb. A few clouds and sunshine today, 85. Tonight clear, we'll drop back to about 62. Tuesday sunshine, high 85. Wednesday sunny, near 90. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Staging on WMAL.
78 degrees right now at Reagan National. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
The whole point is they're trying to get someone activated enough to come and kill me. Okay? That's it. It is so that it is a lesson for all to see and hear. There are certain forces you are not supposed to mess with in society. Okay? You're not supposed to go after corporate interests that hard. You're not supposed to go after Israel that hard.
That hard.
Your voices should never be heard.
Yeah, that's Hassan Piker. He's a terrorist and a communist, anti-American, racist, anti-Semite, who loves genocide. And he's an egomaniac. I would say probably demented egomaniac. Hassan Piker, big Democrat Party influencer, and he's all kinds of things to the Democrat Party. To the world, to humanity's a terrorist, and he hates humanity, especially the Jewish part. You know how these people are; they're all like that. Practical stuff. Well, very good and happy Monday to you. Welcome back once again. Hope you had some piece of the big Indy race, race cars in Washington D.C. yesterday. A lot of fun. I don't think Hassan Piker was there because, you know, if it's fun, I think he wants to firebomb it, not to. But we've got this Hassan Piker guy for you today. He's an extraordinary Democrat. He is, and the media, they love him. They want to date him. They want their daughters to date him too, and their sons for that matter. Here is the headline today from the Washington Examiner, the wonderful Washington Examiner. The headline is Hassan Piker called evil. They put evil in quotation marks. After singing, quote, "We Are Charlie Kirk," end quote. That's got a song, "We Are Charlie," who was assassinated by Democrat suicide attacker. You know, the lunatic Democrats, they're like Al-Qaeda. Just amazing. "We Are Charlie Kirk" meme song at a live show. He's doing a live, it's a podcast. Everybody's got a podcast. Left-wing Twitch streamer Hassan Piker faces renewed criticism after appearing to lead a live audience and singing a song associated with online mockery. of the late conservative Charlie Kirk. He's late because he was shot and murdered by an assassin. And the Democrats applauded. They couldn't pick Charlie Kirk out of a lineup, couldn't quote him on anything. But the Democrat Party teaches that murder is positive, especially if it's somebody that didn't vote for Joe Biden or for Kamala Harris. The incident occurred during a recent stop on Hassan Piker's, listen to this, Fear and Live. Or is that Fear and Live? It's Fear and Live, Fear and Live. It's his, he's got his Fear ampersand live show. It's Fear and Live. It's like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but unoriginal and just loathsome. Where video circulating online shows him performing the song "We Are Charlie Kirk" as members of the audience joined in. They're so funny, and that's they were spreading monkeypox at the same time, like it was herpes at another Democrat party in the hot tub. Piker's podcast co-host also appeared to laugh during the performance. They love murder. They really do. Piker appeared at San Francisco, naturally. San Francisco's Golden Gate Theater. There's nothing golden about it anymore. It's something else altogether. As part of the opening night of the tour's West Coast run, it's a tour. It's Fear and Loathing or something. Alongside fellow host Will Neff, right? And QT Cinderella, got to be a cross-dresser of color there. And Austin Show, these probably not. QT Cinderella, that's QT Cinderella, and Austin Show, along with Will Neff. They're hanging out with Hassan Piker. The song, released shortly after Kirk's assassination in Utah, was written in the style of Christian power ballad to make it all the more mocking, of Christianity and Christendom and Christians and of murder, because the Democrat Party is a bloodthirsty gang of gargoyles, and has since been widely used online as a meme targeting Charlie Kirk and his supporters. Hassan Piker, addressing a cheering crowd, led the audience in a chant referencing Charlie Kirk, singing, "We're Charlie Kirk and we carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name." All right. Listen, because this is what these guys do. He was heard remarking that the moment felt like one of the most surreal of his life. That's sure. Find another one somewhere down the line. Now let's go to, because this is the Democrat Party and it's what they do. Let's go to the Socialismos and soundbite number one. Here is Hassan Piker. This is in Portland because he goes from place to place doing the same thing. He did the same thing at San Francisco's Golden Gate Theater because, San Francisco, open your Golden Gates, and fill in your own lyrics after that. Hassan Piker in Portland, wherever he goes, he's on tour mocking. I actually thought about this yesterday. I was gonna come in and say I've got some important news. Barack Obama was just shot by a sniper and killed on the back porch of his $20 million oceanfront estate, and it's very sad. But we're going to make fun of it for the rest of the day. Now, just to point out that these guys, the Hassan Pikers, in good with the media, and in good with the Democrats. I know that's repetitive and redundant and unnecessarily duplicative. But here's Hassan Piker in Portland this time, mocking the assassinated Charlie Kirk because murder is fun. And then he was shot by a sniper's bullet. Yeah, we're mocking Charlie Kirk. Yay! I'm just like that. That Martin Luther King assassination. Let me tell you, the best joke about the Martin Luther King assassination? Because there are so many of them. and the mocking song about Martin Luther King assassination, who was assassinated by a Democrat Party presidential campaign volunteer, right? James Earl Ray and all that stuff, volunteer for the lifelong Democrat governor, racist, segregationist George Wallace. And then he went and killed Martin Luther King. There are no jokes about Martin Luther King's assassination. There are no mock songs about Martin Luther King's assassination. But the filthy, murderous, bloodthirsty left, well, they love this sort of thing. And here's Hassan, and the crowd, listen to the crowd. Honestly, I know you don't think about theater fires and things like that, but here he is, Hassan Piker. He is, again, addressing the crowd of ghouls, many of whom are cross-dressers and have monkeypox. But here he is in Portland again. He's famous for saying again and again, Hassan Piker, that the United States of America deserved 9/11. That's September 11th, 2001, thousands of Americans killed. Also, I learned something on, I think it was the ABC World News program last night. I think that's right. That they have yesterday by DNA identified one more person from the World Trade Center that was killed by the Muslims on September 11th of 2001, hijacking planes, slashing throats, crashing the planes into the towers, right? And the Democrats are now on the side of Al Qaeda. They really are. And Hassan Piker certainly is. But I learned something at ABC that a full 40% of the Americans killed on September 11th have still not been positively identified because, the buildings collapsed and there are very big buildings and crushed and not a lot left of human beings. 40%. And what was there? Well over 1,000 people murdered by the Muslim terrorists like Hassan Piker's friends, have still not been identified 25 years later. Isn't that wild? So 40% of the families of 9/11 families of people murdered by the terrorists have still not been positively identified. Now, if your brother was there in the building and you haven't heard from him in 25 years, but still no positive ID on 40% of the people murdered on that day 25 years ago. Now, here's Hassan Piker, again, who is famous for being pro-terrorist and anti-American and pro-murder and pro-assassination, and a Democrat who campaigns with Democrats running for high office. Remarkable. But here he is telling the audience, all right, I've changed my mind. Okay, America didn't deserve 9/11. And the crowd boos and jeers him because they all believe that America did deserve September 11th, 25 years ago. Here's Hassan Piker.
America does not deserve 9/11. That's my new thing now.
Yeah, it's okay. America does not deserve 9/11. That's my new thing, he says. That's my new thing. That America doesn't deserve 9/11 anymore. And the crowd jeered and booed because they are, they're Democrats. I think is what they're just amazing. Now they did I've got another two sound bites for you. Hassan Piker. He apparently is singing the Charlie Kirk song, and nobody's firebombed his parents' house. But where is his parents' house in Syria? Where is filthy people? Where are these people that spawned this disease? But listen to this. Here's Hassan Piker, because he apparently has been criticized for singing the Charlie Kirk song, and now he wants to infuriate. This is the party of creating civil war. Everywhere they go, the left brings war and civil war and conflict, and every country where they secure enough power, then the killings begin. Here's Hassan Piker. Oh no, there's been backlash because I was mocking the assassination of Charlie Kirk and of course Erica Kirk, the widow with the 2 children. The Democrats love death and murder. Here's Hassan Piker again.
I'm more respectful to Charlie Kirk than Erica Kirk is. I'm more respectful to Charlie Kirk than virtually every Republican out there who has tried to fill his shoes. You know what I mean? Yeah, these guys are all Grifters. It's so funny that
Hey, there's that grifters word again.
conservatives are like, how dare you guys sing We Are Charlie Kirk at a rally?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to mock you, and it reminds me of the rape tents they set up at the Occupy Wall Street gatherings because there are so many sexual assaults that they made it official. And so, yeah, and he's more respectful of Charlie Kirk than the widow Erica Kirk is. This guy is a criminal. He's gonna, if he had a wife, I think he'd murder her. Hassan Piker, like the Democrats in Fairfax, Virginia. Yeah, you're more respectful of Charlie Kirk than Erica Kirk is respectful of her late husband, her assassinated husband. And this is him showing how respectful he is, because Democrats use words, but they don't know what the words mean. Like, he used the word I'm, and I don't think he knows what that means. It refers to him. More respectful, he doesn't know what the word respectful means, than Erica Kirk is, while he is mocking before a live audience that actually the mental illness is so rampant that this miscreant criminal fills an auditorium or a theater with like-minded, I'm using the term advisedly, like-minded individuals who are also bloodthirsty ghouls. Charlie Kirk, who was called out for his vulgarity, and so I'm more respectful of Charlie Kirk than Erica Kirk is. That's his. She should sue him for. He's also another rich kid. All these commie candy asses are all rich kids with their baby daddies buying $1 million places in New York and all that stuff. But here is once again Hassan Piker.
You're pearl clutching because this isn't like belittling Charlie Kirk's assassination or mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination or celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Right.
This is, carrying the flame. Republicans hate when, people give back like a fraction of the energy that they put out.
The opposite of the truth, 100% the opposite of the truth. These guys have been smearing, slandering, maligning, and laughing at the murder of people for so long that finally normal people had to start responding a little bit in kind, but only a little bit. This guy ought to be gassed, like the gas chair, maybe the electric chair. I know we'll wait for him to murder people, but it shouldn't take long. Yeah, that's it. This guy is a senior Democrat and a media figure, thanks to network news organizations and cable TV or news organizations. Remarkable stuff. Yeah, that's your Democrat Party. I got a lot more of these people. I even got the Reverend Al Charlatan. I got Reverend Al Charlatan because he's with this commie in Florida, Angie Nixon. No relation.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Air travel never stops, and neither do air traffic controllers. Working every day, ATCs guide more than 1 billion passengers safely to and from destinations each year. Air traffic control, teamwork that keeps our nation moving.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy, you might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun, Gatorlight, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gatorlight hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
Is your childcare bill starting to feel like a second mortgage? If your childcare costs have you constantly rethinking your budget, it's time to consider hosting an au pair. Au pairs can provide up to 45 hours per week of flexible live-in care and are often more affordable than a nanny or daycare, especially if you have more than one kid. No rushing to drop-offs or pickups, no scrambling when schedules change, just an extra set of hands at home and another driver when you need one. Learn how much your family could save at culturalcare.com/save.
Our Q4 roadmap includes omni-channel
This season, it's not about their rules. Lucky rebels taking the odds back from the seas. So rebels like you can make your own rules. When it's fourth and long, you're not made to punt. Back the way you live, like a rebel. This season, bet on football at LuckyRebel.la.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire Now DMV with Mamadou Boshang of Axiom Value Wealth Management every Sunday morning at 5 to get the answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today to work toward the retirement you've dreamt about. Though outcomes depend on market conditions and individual circumstances. Listen Sunday mornings at 5 a.m. to Retire Now DMV with Mamadou Boshang of Axiom Value Wealth Management. Advisory services offered through Axiom Value Wealth Management, LLC. A registered investment advisor. Insurance services offered through Axiom Value, LLC.
All right, class. Tell me about your weekend. Leo?
Well, my sister wants to go camping, so my parents took us on a Nissan Pathfinder to a mountain trip.
Thank you, Leo.
No, it's not over yet. My brother wanted to explore some caves, so we drove up several steep hills, and then
With its V6 engine and 9-speed automatic transmission, the Nissan Pathfinder can power your adventure. That's why Nissan is Consumer Guide's most awarded brand 5 years in a row. The
FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10:30. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. Ontario's Premier Doug Ford says Ronald Reagan would be throwing up over President Trump's trade policies, and he's threatening to cut off electricity and critical minerals to the U.S. if the trade fight worsens. In an interview, Ford says everything's on the table after Prime Minister Mark Carney walked away from trade talks. Iran's currency has hit a record low as Washington prepares to announce new sanctions, which will add further pressure on an already battered economy and an American naval blockade. The spokesperson says Tehran will respond harshly. Gas prices back on the rise, up 3 cents a gallon nationally the past week to $4.05. Analysts at Gas Buddy say gasoline is now at its highest price ever.
Nice morning where I'm at. Not too hot, not too cold. Perfect. Oh, I got blue sweats on.
Russian refinery capacity caused by Ukraine's attacks. Traffic and weather next.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free.
Wigan, I'm not going to respond to you behind a block. Unblock my handles. Now, when I was in there, you blocked that, and I've had that since 2023. It's a 3-year-old fucking account.
That is blocked for construction for the midday. Then on 270 southbound.
You must have happened to unblock it. And I decided to use it. I haven't used it in a while. But it's not a new account. I have not made a new account in I don't know how long.
The road work is north of 234.
Quite a while.
That's a mobile work zone heading up toward Dale Boulevard along the west.
If you want to get underneath my skin, come on up here.
Sunny and pleasant this afternoon with a high of 85 at 78 at Reagan National. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAF.
Work has never been simple. Not building cities, not landing rockets, not keeping customers happy. Because the work that matters most crosses teams. It picks up context and changes midstream. It gets handed off, handed back, and occasionally buried in a thread called help. And when your customers are businesses, that complexity gets real, fast. That's the kind of work Front was built for. A support issue needs sales context. A billing question turns into an ops conversation. A shipment update lives in 3 tools, 2 threads, and 1 person's head. If your CX tools were built for simple tickets, they weren't built for this, because real customer problems don't fit neatly in a queue. Front brings conversations, context, and coordination into one place, so teams can see what happened, who owns it, and what needs to happen next. Because complexity isn't what breaks customer work, legacy ticketing tools do. Front, the only customer operations platform built for B2B complexity. Learn more at complexity.front.com.
Family, the great New York State Fair is full of new news.
New news?
New news. New exciting events to amuse and enthuse.
What about rides?
New woohoos for you twos.
Chickens, chows?
You can schmooze with the booze.
Look at the concerts.
It's a veritable who's who's. So many new news for all of you.
I like the old school.
Well, there's lots to peruse, so get on your shoes. Who can refuse Syracuse?
The Great New York State Fair, presented by Chevrolet, August 26th to September 7th.
Looking for a college that delivers real value and a great experience without breaking the bank? At Jefferson Community College, you get high-quality education, affordable tuition, and hands-on learning that prepares you for what's next. The college is more than the classroom. Jefferson offers vibrant student activities, championship-level sports teams, leadership opportunities, and a campus community where you belong. Smart choice, strong future. Jefferson Community College. Discover more at sunyjefferson.edu. Stop overpaying the IRS. If you're a business owner or high-income earner and your CPA is just filing returns, you're losing tens of thousands every single year. That's money out of your pocket, money you'll never see again. Money funding Washington instead of your family. It ends today. Go to taxessaved.com for your complimentary tax saving review. Find out what you're really paying and how to stop overpaying taxes. Taxessaved.com. Keep more, live more, leave more.
Thinking about getting away? With Expedia, you can save up to 25% on hotels and vacation rentals, even on those last-minute trips. No stress, no endless searching, just quality options found fast, so you can spend more time dreaming about the view. Whether you need a place to stay, a flight, or a car, We make planning simple by putting your whole trip in one place. Because who you travel with matters. Book with Expedia now.
WMAL, making sense of world events, because those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
We got a story for you out of the Washington Post today, too. They have a Charlie Kirk-hating, racist woman who was an opinion writer there, and she was fired about a year ago because of what she said about Charlie Kirk, because they're a hate-filled bunch. But now a court has ordered the Washington Post to hire her back and give her back pay because they love death. They're on the side of everything bad. If it's bad, the left loves it. Let's go back to where we were in the audio sound bites here. I was talking about the Reverend Al Sharpton. I looked up how much money does NBC News pay the Reverend Al Sharpton, and it's all over the place. But it starts at $500,000 and it goes up to $5 million. So I think they don't really know how much NBC pays them. But here's the Reverend Al Sharpton of Tawana Brawley fame and the Crown Heights anti-Semitic riots, which led to the murder of a Jewish man for being Jewish. The Reverend Al Sharpton is a miscreant of the First Order. It's the only thing of which he is a member of the First Order. But here's the Reverend Al Sharpton with Angie Nixon, who is a commie Schweinhund, Democrat, running for high office in the state of Florida. She won her primary, her Democrat primary. And here's the Reverend Al Sharpton, who's a racist, talking to Angie Nixon, who's a racist, about those terrible, awful Republicans and all that. And listen to the Al Sharpton try to form a question, a simple question. At the end, it's about 40 seconds, and he's incoherent, and he's rambling, and he uses a couple of words that may or may not be words. And then at the end, it's kind of up to you to try to figure out what question he was trying to ask, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Now, you're a Democratic socialist who just won a red state's Democratic Senate primary, one of the several dominated by narratives of moderates versus progressives this year. We've seen where your moderate primary opponent immediately threw his support behind your following, behind you following last week. But we've also seen some reports of friction between your campaign and state Democrats who fear your political affiliation gives Republicans a line of attack. Now that you are the nominee, are you getting the support you need?
That's a great question. So are the Democrats supporting you? I think the question was, is the Democrat Party supporting you? You're a communist and you're a socialist and you're a racist and but she smiles. This is key this year for Democrats. They put up Lenin himself, and if he smiles at the podium, then the Democrats applaud and say, "Oh, look, he's got nice, like Zoran Kwame Mamdani in New York. Oh, he's got such a nice smile." And they're firebombing synagogues, but never mind that. So here is the Democrats' pick to be in the United States Senate in the great state of Florida. Here is Angie Nixon trying to decipher Al Sharpton's question and respond to whatever that question might have been.
You know, we're getting support from a lot of people. We always can use more. And I'm just letting folks know, I recently joined GSA. We actually had Republicans and independents that crossed over in the primary to vote for me the primary, since we are a closed primary state. They're volunteering on our campaign and they're making donations.
Yeah, Republicans are volunteering for the socialists and voting for her because that's not happening. And she's making it up and she's lying, but she's smiling. So that's good. And also this, Michael Pierce and I were listening this morning, and it reminded us of a soundbite we played last week. of Abdul El Sayed, who's also running for the Senate. He's in Michigan, and he's a communist also. And he was on with some other leftist, and listen to the whopper of a lie that he tried. Now, again, Angie Nixon just said, oh, yeah, Republicans and independents, they're voting for me. They're even volunteering for me because, I said I'd give them free stuff. And these Republicans, they want the communists to give them free stuff. And here is Abdul Al-Sayed, and she said, yeah, Republicans are voting for me and they're volunteering for me. Here is Abdul Al-Sayed, Jihadi, Michigan.
When I go to up and down the state, there's not a place I stop where people don't tell me, look, I voted for Donald Trump 3 times and I'm voting for you. And that's because you really want to give me health care.
Yeah, there you go. Now, he is a lion Sacagawea. There's not everywhere he goes, every place he stops up and down the state of Michigan, people are rushing up to him and saying, hey, I voted for Trump 3 times, but I'm voting for you because you want to give me free health care. That's what's happening. And if you can show me one person that has done that, then I got to tell you, these people, if their lips are moving, they're lying. Let's go back to Angie Nixon, who said, oh, yeah, everywhere she goes, Republicans said they're voting for her and volunteering for her and supporting her. Right, yeah. And I got 3 million votes in the primary in Florida, too, except I wasn't on the ballot anyway. Here is Angie Nixon.
I have a proven track record of actually fighting against authoritarian governments. And so people should not let my my recent affiliation with DSA sway them in any way or scare them at all. I have always been about fighting against bigotry and fighting just for hardworking people. I think it's the time, I know it's the time to send a bold, unapologetic fighter to Washington, D.C. to really stand up against Donald Trump.
Yeah, and the Reverend Al Sharpton is mumbling and murmuring there. Yeah, sure. And she said she has a long history of fighting against authoritarian regimes. But in like Tallahassee, the city hall, what are you talking about? She's spent. Are you really originally from Ouagadougou, where you were fighting against authoritarian regimes in Burkina Faso? Maybe if you're old enough, in Upper Volta, might have been in Upper Volta, fighting against. She's got a long history of fighting against authoritarian regimes, and she's referring, of course, to Trump derangement syndrome there. And yeah, she's got a long history of fighting against authoritarian regimes. And Republicans are voting for her all over Florida, just like with Abdul El Sayed, where everywhere he goes, swarms of 3-time Trump voters are telling him that they're voting for him because they want somebody else to pay for healthcare insurance. But I thought you guys fixed it with Obamacare already. It was already fixed. You guys saved the day with Obamacare. I remember you were so proud of Obamacare. Angie Nixon, who smiles and lies about everything. It's like, if you met her at a bar, it'd have to be after 2 a.m. Here's Angie Nixon.
We're black. They gonna profile us too. They can't tell the difference between an African American or a Black American that is a descendant of slaves here in this country, or someone from Jamaica or Nigeria. Like they are going to racially profile us, and they are going to escalate things, and they are going to shoot and kill us.
That's right. ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, are going to profile Black Americans and going to shoot them and kill them. She spent a lot of time fighting authoritarian regimes in her fantasies, maybe online or something like that. And she's got one of those video game things with a little rifle. I don't know. But there she is. Well, I'm black, and we're all black. And being black, ICE is profiling us, and they're going to shoot and kill us. That's what ICE is, because racial profiling, and there are only white people in America, so any people that are not white, ICE is going to shoot and kill. These people are very severely disturbed people, and the Democrats are trying to put them all in the United States Senate because, tiny brains think alike, I think is, As a black, I almost want to make that my ringtone. I want to play that over and over again on the radio. So wait a minute, Michael. What at the end of that soundbite? What she said that ICE they're profiling black people because some black people are from Jamaica and some are from Burkina Faso, from Ouagadougou, and so ICE is going to make mistakes everywhere they go because they're only 19 years old and they don't have any training. I heard other Democrats saying that ICE agents are 19 years old and they don't have any training, so they're going around shooting people. It's actually Democrats racing their cars at federal law enforcement, trying to run them over, and bringing loaded pistols to the protests. And just in Michigan alone, in Minnesota alone, isn't that amazing? So as she says that they're going to profile us and they're going to be shooting and killing us.
They are going to escalate things and they are going to shoot and kill us.
That's right. That's ICE, federal law enforcement. So then, but you love the federal government. You want the federal government to do everything for you. And then you'd think that the same people that you worship and want to provide everything to you and everyone else, that they're so out of control that they're going to mistake you for illegal aliens and shoot and kill you, not while you're racing your car at them and trying to run them over. And this is the mainstream of the Democrat Party. She is the Democrats' nominee for the United States Senate in the state of Florida. Can I just say, these people are very, very unwell people. They're sick people. I am telling you. Man, oh, Manischewitz. Just extraordinary stuff. These guys. Yeah, I've got a lot to get to. I do want to get to this Washington Post story because this is ridiculous. A woman named Karen Attiah. Nobody knows who she is because she was, a columnist at the Washington Post. She's a woman of color, a WOC. So she better look out for ICE because ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, probably going to profile her and shoot her and kill her. According to the Democrats' pick for the Senate in Florida. But here's the Karen Attiah, Attiah. She was fired by the Washington Post about a year ago, where she was a columnist, and she was like a boss columnist too. She's the one at the Washington Post that said when it's quitting time. And here's the Newsweek magazine rushing to her defense. Now, what happened was she was fired a year ago because she went on social media and said all kinds of nasty things about Charlie Kirk the day that he was assassinated, the day that he was murdered, and accused him of all kinds of things, some of which were fake, but she checked them on the internet, so it's okay. And then a court ruled that the Washington Post has to hire her back, rehire her, and give her all her back pay. Now, Newsweek magazine, which is no great shakes, has the headline, "What Karen Attiah Said on Charlie Kirk as Washington Post Ordered to Rehire Her." This is today's story in the Newsweek magazine. Used to be a news magazine. And they write, Ellie Cook types for the Democrat Party. She writes, "The Washington Post has been ordered by who? To rehire fired opinion columnist Karen Attiah and compensate her with back pay nearly a year after she was dismissed over social media posts related to the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk." Attiah was axed as global opinions editor by the Washington Post over comments on September 10th, the day Charlie Kirk was fatally shot at a college campus in Utah by a crazy Democrat, loathsome, murderous Democrat, and a separate shooting in Colorado, which injured two and left the teenage shooter dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, having nothing to do with anything, nothing to do with what we're talking about. Private arbitrator, they got a private arbitrator, Sarah Miller Espinoza, said in a Thursday decision, listen to this, she's a private arbitrator, that the Washington Post, quote, failed to establish the grievant engaged in gross misconduct. Yeah, go back and check your words and get back to me. Tia's termination letter, dated September 11th and shared by the writer on September 16th, said she was fired for gross misconduct following social media comments regarding the death of Charlie Kirk, which, quote, violate the post's social media policies, harm the integrity of our organization, and potentially endanger the physical safety of our staff. End quote. The letter highlighted two blue sky, I think Vince Colonnese likes to call it blueski. Two blueski posts on September 10th, the day that Kirk was assassinated, when she wrote, listen, and here's what Karen Attia wrote on her social media. She's the lead international columnist editor at the Washington Post. She wrote, part of what keeps America so violent is Democrats. Part of what keeps America so violent is the insistence that people perform care, empty goodness, and absolution for white men, racists, who espouse hatred and violence. I'm sorry, Charlie Kirk espoused violence and hatred and violence. That's completely false. That's Karen Attia. She wrote on September 10th, the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a sniper with a rifle. And then she wrote, refusing to tear my clothes and smear ashes on my face in performative mourning. Now that's a mockery of the Jewish people, of people rending, and you tear your own clothes and soil yourself because you're mourning. It shows you're mourning. Refusing to tear my clothes and smear ashes on my face in performative mourning. Now, again, mocking Jews. For a white man, she doesn't capitalize white either, but she capitalizes black because she's a racist, right? So, in performative mourning for a white man that espouses violence, which he never did, not the same as violence. So her attacking him is not the same as violence, but his speech, which didn't espouse violence, is apparently enough to get him shot, and she's okay with that. She's just a lefty, all right? That's she's a typical Democrat. So, in another post, Tia attributed, quote, she wrote, listen to this, black women, and this is what she's saying, that Charlie Kirk wrote this, okay? Now, we'll listen to this. So the Newsweek magazine writes, in another, Tia attributed, quote, black women do not have the brain processing power to be taken seriously. You have to go steal a white person's slot. See, and that's, she says, Charlie Kirk said that. Charlie Kirk said that, right? A week later, she wrote, hey, everyone, in the heat of things, I originally saw this quote in a piece in The Nation, left-wing rack, and their quote has since been updated to specify that it was specifically about Joy Reid, Michelle Obama, etc. She says, etc. She's still not quoting him accurately. But Charlie Kirk, clearly anti-black statements speak for themselves, she said, all right? And she provided a link to a Guardian article headline, Charlie Kirk in his
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
From unreliable outfits. Misquoting him. And then she was fired, but now she has been ordered to be rehired. Doesn't matter how wrong what she said was. Rehire her and give her back pay, because Democrats, they love to hate. There's one thing is for sure. The one thing they love is hate.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Is your childcare bill starting to feel like a second mortgage? If your childcare costs have you constantly rethinking your budget, it's time to consider hosting an au pair. Au pairs can provide up to 45 hours per week of flexible live-in care and are often more affordable than a nanny or daycare, especially if you have more than one kid. No rushing to drop-offs or pickups, no scrambling when schedules change, just an extra set of hands at home and another driver when you need one. Learn how much your family could save at culturalcare.com/save.
Now boarding flight 530. Low energy, unfocused, foggy, you might be dehydrated. 81% of travelers don't feel fully hydrated, and flying increases the risks of dehydration. Gatorade Zero powders have been scientifically designed to help improve hydration balance in the body. Clinically proven electrolyte blend and no artificial colors or flavors. Shop now online or at retailers nationwide. Gatorade hydrates better than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Our Q4 roadmap includes omni-channel
This season, it's not about failures. Lucky Rebels taking the odds back from the suits. So rebels like you commit.
There's the hypocrisy. There's Alpesh Patel in New York chat. All right. Billy's so desperate he has Yummy and Empress on his panel. But I let you up. In fact, I let you up several times because you dropped off and then you came back, Alpesh. You fucking whiny little bitch. What a whiny little fucking, for an OG, for a gangster, you're a whiny little bitch. You call the fucking cops. Now you're in New York chat. You know, that I bring Empress and Chinchilla up, or Empress and Yummy up here, and I let you on my panel, you fucking stick boy. Fucking Wiggin. Are you ignoring thou shalt not bear false witness? Why are you saying things about me that aren't true, Wiggin? Hanging on my every word. Ain't nobody looking at Billy's chat. Oh, my meter reads 2, but I'm getting fucking 300 views. I was live a little over an hour, and I had 150, whatever it is. I ain't looked back yet. You're fucking hypocrite, Alpesh. I let you up here. You're gonna fucking cry. Look at you crying. He can't go live. That, you know, I don't want to let him know how to do it. All you got to do is pick a new destination. But maybe he's done enough where they won't let him do that. He thinks he's so computer savvy. Keep crying, Wiggin. Talking behind a block. Your comedy is no good if I'm not there to witness it. It's not a new account. It's a fucking over a 3-year-old account. You want me to show it to you? It's this one right here. William Grant Hayden. May 29, 2023.
We ask parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
It's not a new account, boy. You're fucking wrong. Constantly. And I see Rusty posting you're back on the you're in the bottle again. Getting drunk, being stupid. I'm your content. I create the content. I am the content. That's why you have 1,500 screenshots of me.
$10 million bounty because, they're terrorists. And in the meantime, I want to get to that in a minute. Let's go to Teresa calling from the great state of Florida.
Teresa,
you're on the Chris Pine Show.
My ex-wife's name is Teresa.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Just wonderful, thank you.
Excellent. My point is, in Florida, we didn't vote for Vindman. We take very, very highly to people who lie. And so he wasn't voted for because we just didn't, no one wants him. Well, no one wants her either. So my question to her would be, if you're in the DSA and they plainly tell you that they want to.
Wow, Patrick, New York is so mad. Why are you so mad, Patrick? The fuck does matter with this guy? Wow. Fucking Hayden is so pathetic, man. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, they're talking about flies. Hey, it's the middle of summertime. I guarantee you got flies. Alpesh had a fly flying around him. He was trying to swat it the other night. Yeah? Everybody has flies. Those flies, they fly in everybody's face. That's all you have. Oh, ain't no fly flying around me right now. You don't see it. Very seldom. Last year, their fucking flies are bad there for a while. But it's summertime, and I live in a fucking farming town. You walk outside, you can smell cow shit. And piss. The smells of a farm, silage, the whole 9 yards. What's the matter, Wiggin? I'm not running my ship the way you want me to. You think you're like you're fucking Space Force commander out here or what? And you got all them fucking people that hide behind couch. Yeah, Patrick, New York won't even come up on a panel. No. Patrick Rowe called me earlier, by the way, about 8:30 or so. He called me. Didn't you, Patrick Rowe? I was busy, Patrick, making breakfast, getting something to eat. Time is it? Really? Really? Seriously? Huh? Really? You know, Wiggin, you want to talk about views, but you don't even leave your streams up, so we have no idea with you. But you're gonna brag that you get views, but you don't leave your streams up. The fact of the matter is I get views. That's the fact of the matter. Some people out here are kind of tired of the shit that's going on and all that, and it doesn't bother me to sit here. And you fuckers aren't in my chat bothering me because you're a bunch of fucking slugs. You think I want rum and all them people? You're not going to let anybody run free in your chat, especially me, Wiggin. You weren't going to let me do it. You're disingenuous. You're not a Christian, Wiggin. I don't go to your chats. I did the other night. I went up on your panel. But you're an idiot. You are. You're a complete fucking buffoon. You really are. Backstabbing motherfucker. That's what you are. You are. You're a backstabbing motherfucker, Wiggin, buddy fucker. I called you that 6 years ago. Started calling you that in JC's chat. The first time you fucking did it. Very first time you did it. And then you fucking would do it. Right. It would repeat itself, and I'm going to reinstate Charlie. I'm going to reinstate this one, and then you gave all the girls wrenches in your chat. You lied about your chat and why you went live and all that shit. Then you had the big falling out with Rusty and all that shit. You're a goober at best.
The ultimate vacay. The right shoes can make or break an RSVP.
You ain't got no teeth. How come you don't have any teeth, Wiggin?
Just the shoes. Not the perfect.
Either your health is bad or somebody knocked them fuckers out.
With Designer Shoe Warehouse. That's your DSW store or DSW.com today. And let us surprise you.
The English one, Billy. You calling me Benedict Billy and shit. You're an idiot. You don't dare come up here and take me one-on-one, Wiggin. That's why I went to your panel, but you don't dare take me in one-on-one. No, you want to insult me, but I can't insult you. Yeah. You said take screenshots, and I'm like, you want me to show you how to do a screenshot? I played you in your own words up here. You're a lying son of a bitch. And you want me to respond to you behind a block. Why don't you just clear your block list, Wiggin? Just clear it. You don't get fucked with half as much as you say you do. It's never been that way. Never. You don't get fucked with. No way. It's you and all your little friends. Right? The fuck yous of the chats. You guys switch back and forth. You got JC out there. You got Randy out there. All you fucking moderators from the CNN chat. Half of you were in Jujubot and Gramps.
Talking about the debate, let's talk about the DSA platform. It calls for, in part, replacing the president and Supreme Court with an executive and judiciary chosen by and subordinate to Congress, and, quote, to abolish the Senate, the chamber, of course, in which you serve. Do those ideas go too far for you?
Yes, of course they do for me. And I think a lot of the folks who are running, regardless of where they are on the Democratic spectrum, have rejected those ideas.
He's a high talker. That's Chris Van Hollen. He loves gang members from MS-13. He goes to have margaritas with them in prison in their home hellholes. Chris Van Hollen. Well, of course they go too far. And I got to apologize to Teresa that called in from Florida. Teresa called in from Florida, and I wasn't watching the clock, and I apologize. The time just keeps getting away, doesn't it? Tick, tick, tick. But Teresa was making a very important point, calling from Florida. She's a voter. And so even in the Democrat race, people didn't want to vote for that treacherous, treasonous former lieutenant colonel in the United States Army that undermined President Trump and, Vindman, Alexander Vindman. So they voted for this lunatic, this woman that we were just listening to. And what Teresa, the point that I believe Teresa was attempting to make before I so rudely ran out the clock, that she, this lunatic, is running for the U.S. Senate in Florida for a party, the Democratic Socialists of America, that is planning on a declared goal of theirs is to abolish the Senate, just get rid of the Senate altogether. And she's running Angie Nixon as a radical extremist socialist, a Democrat, for the U.S. Senate in Florida. And her party wants to eliminate the Senate in the United States, and then the 5 years of civil war, and the Democrats bring back slavery. They move their capital to Richmond, Virginia again. But Teresa was making a very good point, and I apologize, Teresa, for running up the clock on you. But yeah, she's running as a Democratic socialist, Angie Nixon in Florida, for the U.S. Senate, for a party that wants to abolish the Senate. So if they were to get their way, she wouldn't have a job again. Just eliminating jobs wherever they go. Aren't they amazing? But and then that was Chris Van Hollen with a fellow traveler. Oh, and he's doing, you catch him doing the high talker thing, like his high school girl and then I had to finish, and then I went to band camp, but Chris Van Hollen doing the high talker thing there. What a guy. Amazing.
And I think a lot of the folks who are running, regardless of where they are on the Democratic spectrum.
High talker, high school girl, remarkable stuff. Now let me get back to the Iranians who are terrorists, Muslim terrorists, radical Islamic jihadi terrorists. It's the Islamic Revolution in Tehran, and they're terrorizing first and foremost, perhaps, 92 million Iranian people of Persian heritage, mostly, and some other ethnic groups too. And you got tribal things going on there and stuff, but they first terrorize at home and then start spreading it from there. But this is remarkable. Here's the latest thing from the Iranians, though, because you know how these guys are, just amazing. The people at Mediaite is one of the stories I saw. Iran media claims Barron Trump has $10 million bounty on his head and is being monitored in chilling video. Chilling video because it's chilling. And the terrorists, you know, radical Islamic terrorists, you know how they are. They like to murder, kind of like the Democrats. So it turns out this is a wild story, but Iranian media went on a television station in Iran and explained that the son of the president of the United States, Barron Trump, who is 20 years old and is, I believe he's 6'10". I believe he's 6'10" tall, nearly 7 feet tall. He's tall enough to play in the NBA, but never mind that. Iran media, the good people at the Jerusalem Post are covering the story as well because they know what's going on in the news. And Jerusalem Post people have the story. Iran media claims Barron Trump has $10 million bounty on his head, and that means they want him assassinated, right? That's the thing about them. And the Jerusalem Post, quote, here's the headline, quote, "Where to kill Barron, ? Close quote. Iran airs video offering $10 million reward to kill U.S. President's son. This might actually irritate Donald Trump, who might have to use several thermonuclear devices on the cities in Iran, but probably not. See, that's the thing. We've got lots and lots of nuclear weapons, but we don't go around using them. You give them to although Harry Truman did twice, and it put an end to the bloodiest war in the history of the world and all that stuff. But so here's the video linked on X/Twitter by anti-regime London-based journalists. Nayak Ghorbani showed various locations where Barron had been at specific points in the past, including Trump Tower. And here's the big banner written in blood, "Where to kill Barron Trump," with a blood-painted likeness, not very good likeness, I might add, of Barron Trump. And the Jerusalem Post writes, Iranian state-affiliated TV Channel 3 has released a video threatening U.S. President Donald Trump's son, Barron Trump, detailing specific surveillance against him and offering a $10 million reward for his death, Iran International reported on Monday. That's today. The Jerusalem Post could not locate the original video on Channel 3's platforms. The video, however, was linked on Twitter, on X/Twitter, by anti-regime London-based journalist Nayak Ghorbani, and showed various locations Barron had been at specific points in the past, including Trump Tower and his school campus. At all these locations, the video highlighted elements of Barron's security detail, including claiming that Secret Service agents disguised themselves as students in order to blend in to his surroundings. Now, so what was that TV show where they 21 Jump Street, I think, right? Where the undercover police went into the high school and they posed as high school students, right? Isn't that was 21 Jump Street, and then they might have made it 22 Jump Street as a sequel or something like that. Oh, we got that. But they had video showing locations. And they highlight elements of a security detail and the Secret Service blending in, which wouldn't be completely surprising. Video also claimed to have found Barron's online Xbox, Discord, and FIFA video game accounts. That's, the soccer kickball. Kick the ball. as well as those of his classmates, with two of them being named as Liam Carter and Bo Loudon. So they're naming, so if you're Barron Trump's buddy, you're Liam Carter or Bo Loudon. Now you're being named by the terrorists in Iran. And here's the thing about this. Iran does this knowing that they have the full support of at least half of the Democrat Party in the United States. And the reality is now, I think that if Barron Trump is in greater danger today than he was a week ago, it is more a danger posed by the American left, that is to say the Democrat Party, than it is by Iranian terrorists in the United States, honestly. I am telling you. Yes, sir. So while Liam Carter appeared to be a fake profile, Loudon, a conservative media influencer, is a known friend of Barron Trump's. Millions of FIFA players against Trump are waiting to receive a $10 million prize from us, the video said. They're FIFA players. They like kickball. And there you go. So the video is styled similarly to a previous video put out by the regime threatening U.S. First Lady Melania Trump last month. Sure, they hate beautiful women that are wonderful and speak 6 languages and all that stuff. They're terrorists. They're troglodytes. They're from a third world pit in hell. You know, they're Muslim terrorists. And the Democrats, again, you got Hassan Piker saying America deserves September 11th, and the Democrat Party is right there with the most violent terrorists in the world. Every time you look up, they prove it again. So the video threatening to murder Melania Trump, the First Lady, now a video threatening to have Barron Trump assassinated, $10 million price on his head. That video called Freedom Fighters, the one about murdering Melania Trump, to target the shops that the First Lady frequents. It claimed to share information from several anonymous security networks, showing schemes of how Melania's security operates and the places that she usually goes in New York. If people at stores are doing that, they should get 5 to 7 years in prison. It also claimed that the First Lady's weakness is her love for fashion. Not really a weakness, it makes her look wonderful. Saying that she frequents the top New York fashion stores that could be attacked by freedom fighters. That's what they call them, freedom fighters. Freedom fighters there. They should call them Frito fighters for the Frito Bandito, you know, so they could have big mustaches and sombreros and muzzle loader pistols. The video ended saying, "This is just the beginning, Barron Trump. Wait for us." I don't think we'll wait for you. I think maybe we put some B-2 bombers in the air and see if we can find where your kids go to school. What do you think? I think that might be a good idea. Just amazing stuff. Terrorists. And again, playing Hassan Piker earlier, who these people, can I just say? Yes, sir. Yep. That's pretty amazing stuff. You guys. Just amazing. Now, what do we have? We've got a lot of other things here. President Trump is heading to his golf course in Ireland. If I had a golf course in Ireland, I'd occasionally head there too. Trump is heading to his golf course in Ireland to watch the Irish Open golf tournament next month. Sure. He's going to go to Ireland September 12th and 13th, and ABC Fake News is reporting it. I think they're posting an Associated Press story, ABC News is. But the President Donald Trump plans to visit Ireland next month. Who doesn't love Ireland? To attend the Irish Open golf tournament at his golf course in Doonbeg in County Clare on the country's Atlantic coast, according to a White House official. The trip is the most recent example of how President Trump blurs the line between official business and travel in ways that can benefit his family business. How does it benefit his family? They're already having the Irish Open there, and he's going to do. And if you're successful they want to make sure that, well, they're anti-success, the fake news media people. If you're successful, they're against you for being successful. They hate successful people, you know. Yeah, most recent example of how President blurs the line between official business and travel. Really? So he doesn't have any personal time or personal travel, and his businesses he has to lose billions of dollars to be president of the United States. And you can't, it's just amazing stuff. You people. And then they write, the Associated Press, ABC News posted it. His sons, his sons have taken over day-to-day control of the Trump organization. But the September trip once again lays bare how Trump has leveraged his second term to pad his family's profits in a variety of ways. Because he's going to the Irish Open as he's not golfing in it. He's not participating, right? He's not going to win the trophy or anything, right? Trump is scheduled to be in Ireland September 12th and 13th, and will join an event with U.S. Embassy workers. I might call them staff or employees, but I'm not a communist, so I don't call people workers. And business officials before attending the golf tournament at the Trump International Golf Links in Ireland. Sure. Again, in Doonbeg, according to White House official who was not authorized to speak publicly and spoke on the condition of anonymity. Of course, anonymity is, I only have anonymous conversations with people in Washington. They're all anonymous. Amazing people. These people. And there's more. There's a lot more coming up.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Post people keep going, even when life gets busy. At Post University, online learning is built for busy schedules with support from real people who care. Become a Post person. Learn more at post.edu.
Air travel never stops, and neither do air traffic controllers. Working every day, ATCs guide more than 1 billion passengers safely to and from destinations each year. Air traffic control, teamwork that keeps our nation moving.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy, you might be dehydrated. Gatorade Zero powders have been scientifically designed to help improve hydration balance in the body. With a clinically proven electrolyte blend and no artificial colors or flavors. Great tasting hydration no matter where you're going. Shop now online or at retailers nationwide. Gatorade hydrates better than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
Can the V6 Nissan Frontier tow a 6,000-pound boulder?
Sure it can.
Can it pull a stuck ATV out of a ditch?
1, make it 3.
Can it find the path when the map ends?
What map?
Can it out-truck the Tacoma and go off the off-road?
Oh, my gas can.
Can the V6 Nissan Frontier?
For sure, no problem.
Tow capacity varies by configurations. The Nissan Towing Guide and Owner's Manual for additional information. Always secure cargo.
My name is Shannon Maldonado. I'm the founder of Yowie, a gift shop from the lens of artists and handmade objects. I chose Shopify because when I was testing other platforms, it was definitely one of the most user-friendly. It was important to me to think about where we would be in the future. All of the tools for reading your sales, like planning inventory, they're just right there on your dashboard. For anyone starting a small business, the biggest thing I can tell you is it doesn't have to be perfect. Shopify can help you build upon it. Start your free trial on shopify.com.
You've put in the work to get that first job, moved up the ranks, or started a family. Now it's time to take your success to the next level. At University of Maryland Global Campus,
all right, I have to depart.
Going with educational programs built around real-world
show's over.
Career skills.
Sorry, Wiggin.
Teach you how to apply
I'm not going to sit here and make funny faces for you this morning.
You don't like me.
My name is Andy. My tongue has no limit. I bet your tongue doesn't have a limit, Andy. You've got that fucker stuck up everybody's ass. Andy tried to fucking squat up here in my piano.
At UMGC, we believe nothing should stand in the way.
I'm taking off, Tom. I gotta go do something, and I gotta go.
And especially not an application fee. Just apply by September 1st and we'll waive your application.
Anybody else who might be
Learn
here?
more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu.